All right, guys, it's time to reveal the Guardian that I painted in this painting that's inspired by this sketch right here in my sketchbook. For those of you who saw my last video, this is where we left off. Is it done? Absolutely not, but that's why there's 3 parts to this video. Here we have where we're going to do a Guardian. I wanted to kind of make him lurking in the branches, watching over this doorway. Painting a creature like this is always a lot of fun because you go through what I like to call the creepy Muppet stage, where it just like for a while looks absolutely horrible to behold, and just like a weird puppet gone wrong. Like, did you catch those dark eyebrows that I gave him that I just very quickly covered up? Because to me it was looking like Elvis crossed with Bert from Sesame Street, and that's just not quite what I was hoping for. Anyway, after a few layers, you get out of the creepy Muppet stage and into the fantasy monster design. Fantasy monster design is always an interesting balance because on the one hand, you want it to be really cool and interesting, but like for this painting, I wasn't going for super creepy. So you also want to not make it something horrible, but you also don't want it to be too cutesy or cartoony. So the sweet spot is hard to find because obviously you don't want a Sesame Street character. You don't want a Disney character. You don't want something horrible out of your nightmares. You don't want something like just unsettling, like, I don't know, salad fingers. Anyway, it's a balancing act. As you're designing, you have to make sure you're not falling into one of those traps and creating something ridiculous, and keep in mind the direction you want to go in with this painting. And as you can see, character design often has to do with just layers and repainting what you did a minute ago because it doesn't look right yet, and then doing it again, and then doing it again after that, and really just kind of trying to fend off insanity with a paintbrush and not cry too much. With this painting, I wanted to lean into the fairy tale like I do in a lot of my paintings, but in fairy tales, oftentimes owls are seen as guardians of wisdom or lore or knowledge, and it just seemed right to me to add an owl to this painting, but it couldn't just be like a regular owl because who's scared of an owl? So I gave it kind of a little bit more of a powerful image. I wanted to do horns and thought about antlers, but ram's horns seemed the way to go for this one. And I'm going to add armor to his trunk and to his legs to kind of give him almost a dragon mix. My goal with this was to create something both beautiful and fascinating, but also could be potentially sinister should you wander upon it in a forest with bad intentions. Anyway, I think I succeeded in that. I'm pretty happy with the results. I mean, hey, at least it doesn't look like Salad Fingers or Bert and Ernie or a creepy Muppet, and it definitely doesn't look like Elvis. So at least there's that. That's a success, right? And hey, maybe that's a low bar, but it's where I am at right now. So as I finish up the last few highlights and shadows on my Guardian, stick around for the next video in which I will be finishing up this painting and bringing it to life with final touches. Thanks for following along with me, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Here's the painting as it is. Follow along for part 3. See you next time.